What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, and today, guys, we're going to talk about some movies that need Blu-ray. So a couple of months ago, I did a video, I think 8 comedies from the 90s that need Blu-ray releases. The video seemed to be pretty popular with you guys. You seemed to enjoy it. You all gave me some great recommendations of some movies that I had never even thought of. So I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these movies right here were in that comment section. You guys telling me, hey, this doesn't have a Blu-ray either. And I was like, all the movies that you guys recommended just really blew my mind. So I decided to do a little research, dig into this a little bit, and, you know, just kind of go over some movies that I think it's a crime that these movies don't have Blu-rays, right? These movies need Blu-rays. It's ridiculous. We need to scream from the mountaintops to the Blu-ray gods. Hey, pick these out of DVD, VHS obscurity and make some Blu-rays now, damn it. Now, I'm not somebody that thinks that every single movie ever made needs to be on 4K, but I think that at least Blu-ray, I would like to see most of the movies that's ever been made put out on Blu-ray. I think that Blu-ray in most cases is good enough as far as a final format. Like, I don't need to see some of these movies that we're gonna talk about here today in 4K. Would I potentially buy them if they came out in 4K? Yes, but I think that, you know, Blu-ray, the jump from DVD to Blu-ray is so significant that all of these movies deserve to be remastered in that Blu-ray format. And I just think that that is the definitive version that at least every single movie needs to be in. Not everything needs to be in 4K, but everything needs to be in Blu-ray as far as I'm concerned. So let's get into it. I mean, it's HD. Don't you want that crystal clear image and picture quality on your TV? I mean, you put in a DVD now, let's be honest, I put in some DVDs lately, and they do not look good at all. I'm pretty much spoiled at this point as far as the quality that we are now getting, picture quality we are getting now on screen with all of these incredible releases that we get. DVD just doesn't cut it anymore. I will watch a DVD, absolutely, if I have to, and I can enjoy a movie on DVD, I can, but Blu-ray is just so much better. 4K is just so much better. But again, not all these have to be Blu-ray. Let's get into it. I'm spending too much time rambling already. So I've got 12 movies. I'm up in the ante a little bit this time. We talked about 8 movies before, but I'm going to talk about 12 here today. I'm going to talk about these 12 movies. I'm going to talk about what studios put them out and where they could be coming from if they were coming out today. We've got a main culprit here, same as we had last time, but we also have some surprise culprits that I want to talk about here as far as movies not being put out on Blu-ray. And then I'm going to let you guys know where you can watch these if you want to watch them. If you've never seen them before, you can't get them on Blu-ray. You can probably get some of these on DVD, but if you want to watch these, you want to check them out, if you want to join in, you know, on the plea to these companies to put this stuff out because you watched it, you loved it, you know, I'm going to let you know where you can watch it. And yeah, I really encourage all of you as I go over these movies, you know, email these companies, say, we want this on Blu-ray, we want this on, we need to start fighting back. I'm certainly going to be emailing some people a list of movies and say, hey, why are these movies not out on Blu-ray? Damn it. But look, before we get started, subscribe to the channel. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Probably, but maybe some of you haven't. Hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to like this video and comment down below, guys. If we're going to go over 12 titles. I went over 8 already, but let me know some of the stuff that we don't cover that you would like to see on Blu-ray, and maybe I'll call it out later on. This is really, you know, me just putting this out there, starting the conversation. Maybe somebody will see this video. Maybe somebody important will see this video. They will hear my plea, my cry here today to put these titles out on Blu-ray. It's important. Let's get into it. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube garbage stuff that you guys criticize me. Ken, why do you have to tell people to subscribe? Of course we're subscribed, all right, but some of you aren't. Some of you aren't subscribed, so I gotta tell you, hit the damn subscribe button. All right, let's get started. And let's get started. This might be just the most egregious one of all of them. Just the most ridiculous that this movie is not out on Blu-ray. And I just couldn't believe it back in when I did 1984 month and I watched this movie. I'm like, this really seriously doesn't have a Blu-ray? And that is Splash, directed by Ron Howard, starring Tom Hanks, John Candy, and Daryl Hannah. And I mean, this is just an absolute classic. How does this movie not have a Blu-ray? Like, this one at this point, screw the Blu-ray. This needs a 4K. Like, this is 4K worthy to me. Like, Ron Howard, he's one of the most respected directors out there. How does one of his first big hit movies not have at least a Blu-ray? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because it's owned by freaking Disney. Touchstone Pictures put this one out. It's currently owned by Disney. You can actually watch it on Disney Plus and Tubi. I watched it on Tubi because I wanted to see the full, you know, Daryl Hannah button. I heard Disney Plus took it out. So I watched it on Tubi. And the movie's great. I watched it for the first time this year. I was like, I could not believe. I always heard about Splash. I was like, oh, Little Mermaid, come to shore, fish out of water scenario, whatever. I'm sure it's cute, but the movie is surprisingly, it's so hilarious. Like, I loved it. It was far funnier than I imagined it being. Of course, Tom Hanks is always great. I knew he would be, but just the dynamic between him and John Candy. I love Splash. I cannot believe Splash is not out on Blu-ray. It is a crime that it's not out on Blu-ray, and we need to get it out on Blu-ray. So yeah, we need to start a hashtag Get Splash on Blu-ray. I know it has a DVD, but damn it, that movie needs a Blu-ray. It looked really good on Tubi. I think they have some kind of HD remaster on Tubi, so the work has been done. But again, it needs that Blu-ray. What are you guys doing? Let's get into the next one, guys. We're going to talk about some Rob Schneider here today. The Hot Chick. The Hot Chick does not have a Blu-ray. Now, again, it's not, it's not ridiculous that The Hot Chick doesn't have a Blu-ray, but I do think that it needs one. I really enjoy The Hot Chick. I like all the Rob Schneider comedies, if I'm being honest, from the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. Deuce Bigalow, the Animal. I don't think The Animal has a Blu-ray either. Not sure about Deuce Bigalow, but The Hot Chick is by far probably my favorite one of his movies. I just love that movie. I love the body swap. I just love body swapping stories in general. I'm a big fan of like Freaky Friday and stuff like that. So The Hot Chick's hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, it's easily probably Rob Schneider's like best comedic performance, I think. It's not like a great movie. I don't want to get your expectations that high, but it was put out by Touchstone and Disney, so we don't have it on Blu-ray, but you can watch The Hot Chick right now if you want to check it out on Tubi. Now let's get into my next pick, and that is Joe's Apartment. So Joe's Apartment was an MTV production, but it was put out by Warner Brothers. It stars Jerry O'Connell, and it's about a guy that gets his like apartment infested by roaches, and the roaches talk. It's been forever since I've seen the movie, but I remember it actually being, I'm pretty sure, like a music video before it was an actual movie. I remember watching the music video when I was a kid, just being grossed out and disgusted by the little cockroaches. And then they made that into a movie, and I always love watching the movie. So I would love it if Joe's Apartment got a Blu-ray. You can watch that on Vudu and YouTube right now. It's not on Amazon Prime, but $2.99 if you want to rent that and check it out. Now, I do want to call out Warner Brothers real quick, because everybody gives Disney crap about not putting stuff out on Blu-ray, and maybe it's because Warner Brothers already has went through a lot of their back catalog. That might be the case, but there are certainly some movies here that we're going to talk about today from Warner Brothers that haven't been put out on Blu-ray. But Warner Brothers, I'm looking back for this entire year, they did not do a lot of work putting out, their old catalog titles in Blu-ray. Like you see it from Paramount all the time. You see Sony do it. You see Lionsgate do it, but you do not see Warner Brothers put a lot of their old catalog titles out on Blu-ray. You see a lot of 4K remasters. Of course, there's the Warner Archive branch of Warner Brothers that puts out, mostly classic films. I don't see Warner Archive putting out Joe's Apartment, but just straight catalog re-releases like Paramount does every single month. You don't see a lot of that from Warner Brothers, and I think they really need to start digging into their catalog and putting out some of these movies that they got, because we got some other ones to get into. But yeah, Joe's Apartment, check it out. Vudu, YouTube, $2.99 if you want to rent it. 6 days, 7 nights, starring Anne Heche. R.I.P. Anne Heche. We just lost her. It's very sad news. I always loved Anne Heche in this movie, Volcano. Even Psycho, I thought she was great. I thought she was great as Marion Crane in Psycho. But look, 6 days, 7 nights, Anne Heche, Harrison Ford. It's a romantic comedy adventure movie. It's such a fun film. I always love watching this movie as a kid. It's also got Ross from Friends in it as well. Haven't seen it in a long time. I do have it on DVD, actually. I got it back there. I was trying to find it before I did this video, but couldn't. But I do have it on DVD, so I'm safe in owning it in the collection. But why does this movie not have a Blu-ray? Like, I feel like this was a popular movie during the 90s. It's an action, adventure, romantic comedy. It's like everything in one. It's like the perfect date night movie. It's got Harrison Ford in it. It's got Han Solo, Indiana Jones. Why does this not have a Blu-ray? It's ridiculous. It needs one, but it was put out by Touchstone Disney, so that's why. But you can watch this movie right now, guys, and I highly recommend it, especially since, we just had the passing of Anne Heche. Pay respect to her passing. Watch this movie on Prime and YouTube. I'm telling you, it's a hell of a good time. It's a fun movie. $3.99 to rent that one right now. But let's talk about Little Giants. Little Giants with Rick Moranis and Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy, and, of course, Rick Moranis from everything, Ghostbusters, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, all that stuff, Dark Helmet, Spaceballs. We know Rick Moranis, but we got Rick Moranis, Al Bundy, and this little kid sport movie. It's just a sweet sports movie. It has a lot of heart to it. I always remember loving watching it. I feel like I say this for every single one, but they really are just a lot of movies from my childhood that I remember loving, and I would love love for them to put out Blu-ray releases, because then it would give me an excuse to buy them and watch them. Like this movie that just came out, Coneheads. I haven't watched it yet, but I have not thought about Coneheads in years. I used to watch it all the time as a kid, but as soon as Paramount announced this, I was like, Coneheads, I have to have it, and I'm definitely going to watch this and reminisce on it. That's what I want them to do with all these movies. Put these movies out so I can buy them on Blu-ray and have an excuse to watch them and just kind of reminisce on the past. But Little Giants is a great kids, sports movie, great child movie. It's got a lot of heart. It's got Rick Moranis, Ed O'Neill going head to head against each other. I don't feel like they're brothers in the movie, but I feel like there's some kind of like family relation between the two of them. But it's a great movie, put out by Warner Brothers. It's currently streaming on Tubi, so you can watch this one for free on Tubi. But yeah, Warner Brothers, again, we call out Disney all the time, but Warner Brothers doesn't do anything currently with their catalog titles. So you got to call out Warner Brothers a little bit there too. Little Giants, Joe's Apartment. What are you guys doing? Put this stuff out on Blu-ray. The Stupids. I'm My Own Grandpa does not have a Blu-ray. It's ridiculous. This movie's directed by John Landis, legendary director John Landis, starring Tom Arnold. And again, when I was a kid, this movie, I watched this over and over again. I had that My Own Grandpa song memorized. I used to go around singing it all the time.
As husband of my grandmother, I am my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. Everybody!
People thought I was crazy. I was such a nerdy kid. I really was. But yeah, John Landis, I didn't know he directed this movie till I started to get it. I've always known The Stupids, but I didn't know he directed it till I got into doing research for this. So it was a big surprise. But I don't know, this movie made $2.5 million at the box office. It completely bombed when it came out. It came out in the 90s. Nobody went to go see this thing, but I remember when it came home to VHS, I watched the crap out of this movie. I loved this movie so much, but it's just about a family, and they're really stupid, and it just plays into that humor the entire movie. Them going through scenarios and just being completely ignorant to everything around them. There is a plot to the movie. Again, I don't remember it, but I need The Stupids on Blu-ray to jog my memory to what this movie is actually about. So we need The Stupids on Blu-ray. Again, New Line Cinema put this one out, so that is Warner Brothers now. And we don't have it on Blu-ray. So Warner Brothers, I'm telling you, put this stuff out, and you can watch this right now, guys. Prime and YouTube for $2.99. You can watch The Stupids. Now let's get into Grandma's Boy, and actually have this one on DVD. Why does Grandma's Boy not have a Blu-ray? That is freaking ridiculous to me. One of the funniest comedies of the 2000s, in my opinion. This one came out in 2006. It's a Happy Madison production back when that actually meant something. It actually meant the movie was probably going to be pretty good and pretty funny. Not like it does now, but Grandma's Boy, and again, if you like the newer Adam Sandler movies, more power to you, but I don't. But Grandma's Boy, I feel like, was like the last great Happy Madison production. And yeah, this is just a great, funny movie. It's got Linda Cardellini in it. And yeah, it's just a really fun. It's got Jonah Hill in it. I actually forgot about that until I saw him on the back. Jonah Hill, one of his earliest comedic performances. He was still very young in this movie, but it's a great film. I love Grandma's Boy. Definitely check this one out. It needs a Blu-ray. 20th Century Disney put this one out. 20th Century Fox, of course, owned by Disney. So Disney owns this one. I don't see them putting Grandma's Boy out on Blu-ray as much as I want it. It's like, I get so sad when I talk about this, because I do like to think that this stuff is going to be put out on Blu-ray at some point. But it's like, it's owned by Disney. It's like, how is it going to happen? Unless they start licensing their stuff out to like Shout Factory or Kino Lorber or anybody, really. It would be awesome if they did that, but I just don't see Disney taking the time to put the work in here. So hopefully they license this stuff out at some point. But Starz, Hulu. So if you have Starz, you can watch this on Hulu, and highly recommend this movie. Again, I think you can buy it on DVD if you just want to own it in the collection, but so funny, so funny. And if you like video games, that's an extra added bonus, because it's about a video game developer, and it just really kind of goes into the development process of games and gaming and stoners. It's all these types of things rolled into one. So if you like that kind of stuff, you'll love Grandma's Boy. Let's get into the next one, Blank Man. Blank Man, starring Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier, a superhero movie from the 90s. Again, I keep saying this, but I loved watching this movie when I was a kid. I feel like I had it on VHS, or I might have had it recorded on a VHS tape, but I watched this one over and over again. I loved it. Columbia and Sony actually put this one out. So there is hope for Blank Man because Sony put this one out. Sometimes they do catalog re-releases, but if you want to watch Blank Man, if you've never seen it, I actually saw it up at a Dollar General. It's like a part of a 4-pack set, and that's $10. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. I see it every time I go up there, and I need to go ahead and get that just to have Blank Man in the collection. But it's so funny. It's about, you know, it kind of reminds me of, you know, Kick-Ass to a certain extent because it's about people that have they don't have superhero abilities, but they dress up like superheroes and they try to fight crime. And it's hilarious. Blank Man is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it on Prime for $3.99 right now. Let's get into the next one, and we have got to talk about Little Nicky. Why doesn't Little Nicky have a Blu-ray? I'm sorry, I was doing my best Adam Sandler Little Nicky impersonation right there. But yeah, Little Nicky from the early 2000s. I know a lot of people don't like this movie, or I've heard a lot of people not like this movie, but I feel like this is one of the last, like, I don't want to say great, but good Adam Sandler comedies. It's a wild movie. It's a wild premise. Adam Sandler definitely gives it his all in his performance in this movie. But Little Nicky's fun. It's a fun movie. It's about heaven and hell, and his father's the devil, and he comes to earth, and he's confronted by all of these positive vibes, and he wants to turn over a new leaf. And his brothers, Satan's other sons, come up to try to basically sabotage all of his plans. And it's a really fun movie. Little Nicky's a fun movie, and it's one that I can't. It's an Adam Sandler movie. Like, why does this not have a Blu-ray? You think somebody would put this out? New Line Cinema. Again with this one, so Warner Brothers, get off your ass and put this out on Blu-ray. What are you guys doing? It's on YouTube right now to watch for free. You can watch Little Nicky for free on YouTube. Now, let's talk about another early 2000s comedy, Malibu's Most Wanted. Malibu's Most Wanted does not have a Blu-ray release with Jamie Kennedy. So I saw this in theaters. I think I was a senior in high school when I saw this in theaters. I was just the right age to get this humor and engage with this humor the way that I did. I just remember walking around quoting this movie constantly. You know, that little jingle that he sings when he's riding on the traffic, looking for my chapstick. Oh, now I found it. There's a Ford Maverick. Now that's $1 million song right here. Jamie Kennedy is fantastic in this role. I love Malibu's Most Wanted. There's no excuse for this to not have a Blu-ray release. Warner Brothers, again, like I thought we were going to lean heavily into Disney in this video, but it's really turning out to be Warner Brothers that's a big enemy here and standing in our way of getting all of these amazing Blu-ray releases. But you can watch Malibu's Most Wanted if you haven't seen it. It was on Netflix, I think, a few months ago, but now you have to rent it for $3.99 off of Amazon Prime and Vudu and some of the other streaming services. But Malibu's Most Wanted absolutely needs a Blu-ray release. Now let's talk about this movie. I almost forgot about it. I was going through some comments in my last video. Like I said, I picked a lot of these from the comments that you all wrote to me, but The Beverly Hillbillies is a great family comedy from 1993. And again, I'm not talking about the show. This is based on the TV show, I think from the 70s, but this is a great movie. I love this movie. It's based off of the TV show, but you got Ernest Jim Varney playing the dad, and it's just a really awesome, sweet movie, fun family comedy. Again, a fish out of water scenario. They come into some money and they're living the high life, so they're mingling with all the rich people, and just the comedy ensues because they're hicks and they're interacting with rich people. So that's funny. It's a funny movie. I love Beverly Hillbillies. It's so awesome. 20th Century and Disney put this one out, but you can watch this one apparently on Hulu and Prime. Now, I need to investigate a little bit, but it says you can watch these on Hulu and Prime. I don't know if you need any like special subscription services or anything, or signed up for Starz or Showtime or whatever, but apparently you can watch this on Hulu and Prime. And I think I want to watch this soon. Again, I remember loving this movie when I was a kid. See, that's the theme with the video right here. The last one, and this is definitely fits the mold of I loved this when I was a kid. I don't know if I would like it so much when I watch it now, but I do certainly want it on Blu-ray, and that is Surf Ninjas from 1993. Now, New Line and Warner Brothers put this one out, so Warner Brothers would have to release Surf Ninjas. You can actually get a DVD right now for $9.92, which I'm really thinking about ordering when I stop filming this video right here. But Surf Ninjas is an amazing children's adventure film from the 90s. I actually don't know if it's amazing. It's been forever since I've seen it, but again, I just remember watching this one all the time, constantly. It introduced me to the Sega Game Gear. I remember having a Sega Game Gear when I was a kid. It's got Rob Schneider in it. We're talking about Rob Schneider again. It's got Leslie Nielsen, who plays the villain in the movie. And it's just a fun movie. Again, Surf Ninjas. 3 Ninjas as well need Blu-rays. I didn't discuss those movies, but they need Blu-rays as well. But Surf Ninjas, I don't know who would put this one out. Warner Brothers put it out, but you could also give it to Shout. You could give it to, maybe Kino could put out Surf Ninjas. I don't know, but I just can't believe, like, Surf Nazis Must Die has a Blu-ray. Surf Ninjas doesn't. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. We need Surf Ninjas on Blu-ray. So I am pleading, Warner Brothers, what are you guys doing? Warner Brothers, I'm telling you right now, Warner Brothers, Disney, what are you guys doing? Put this stuff out on Blu-ray, I'm begging you, or give it to somebody else to put out if you don't want to do it. But there you go, guys. I am done talking about this. I'm getting mad talking about this stuff. I need these movies on Blu-ray right now. Let me know if you agree in the comment section below. Also, let me know some other recommendations of some movies that haven't been put out on Blu-ray yet and you think it's ridiculous. Let me know in that comment section below. Also, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on the bell notifications for all future videos, and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.